There we go.
There we go. Good morning, Remy.
Good morning, Brick.
Everything is being a little wonky this morning, including us. Can't get my phone to stay on my Tupperware. Couldn't get it to record. And, well, you and I are starting to show our age a little bit.
Yeah. Oh my God, this is fantastic.
Damn it. We're good for the moment.
Yeah. Don't breathe too heavily towards it.
I know. So, for those of you, well, we haven't had one. It's been a month. And today's February 1st, so starting the year off strong.
Yeah. And new month, new us. It's okay.
I know. We're trying, folks. So, Remy and I both last week, um, which coincidentally enough, like we both have the same issue, developed bulging discs.
Yeah. I mean,
I've never
I'll know
had
for
one.
sure. I go to the doctor today to be real sure, but I can walk around for a little bit, so that's fine.
Have you ever had one?
No, like, I mean, I do a lot of dumb stuff and don't get hurt long term. I've never had pain like that in my life ever. It's I go to the chiropractor every other day, so it's better. I go to the doctor today to get an MRI so that I can then move forward with my life.
Uh, I've never had one, and it's painful. And I think that it's just so Brandon thinks what I did because I clean stalls pretty much every day. So that's not anything new. That's not anything that my body's not used to. But it rained a little bit the weekend after our show, and I was picking up after the show and doing all the stalls. And that sand gets, when it gets damp, it gets heavy. And he thinks that I had the tractor bucket too high when I was dumping the manure carts and probably pushed it out then. Because I was fine, I was fine, I was fine. And then I was not fine. But the chiropractor did not help me.
I had sciatica, I think like 10, we're so old. I had sciatica a couple of years, like 2 or 3 years ago. It was really bad, but the chiropractor fixed it. My muscles get really like, my legs get shorter. One gets shorter than the other. So that usually helps. And I went in and he was just like, yeah, you need to go to the doctor. You shouldn't be in here. Like, and he helps me. It gets better. It just, it doesn't go all the way. And then Cheryl Klingbeil, who is sometimes at the shows in Arizona, she worked on me for a while at our show in between classes, and that helped it a lot too. But I'm just old.
I
No,
know.
I didn't do
It does
anything
suck
different.
getting old.
I lift heavy shit all the time. I do dumb things
That's what I'm
all the
saying.
time.
That's the only thing I can think it could be because there wasn't anything out of the ordinary that I was doing.
Yeah, we're also just getting old. You can like
You
unload the
know,
dishwasher wrong and uh and hurt your back.
I know. I know. So my deal now is because Brennan's aunt's been working on me. She's a physical therapist. That helps me a ton. And then I ice it, and she gave me some exercises to do. And both of those things in combination have helped a ton. But my worst time, Remy, is sleeping. It's not so much sleeping. I can sleep. It's like after I've slept, getting up because your body has not been in motion, and then it hurts trying to get it back together. Do
Yeah.
you have that?
So I had where I couldn't sleep for the first couple of nights, and I did like all the stretches, right? Like I did pigeon pose, I did everything, and it would make it a little bit better. But then I couldn't sleep, and it's on my right side, and I sleep on my right side, so I had to sleep on my left side, which sucks. And then with back pain, you have to alternate heat and ice because if it's really like a sciatica, it's the heat makes it worse because it swells it around it. So yeah, and then when you wake up in the morning, you're like, I can't get your leg to move. And my bed is made out of railroad ties. It's really high. Like I have to step up and into my bed. So trying to get out of it, I was like, this is how I die. And even getting into it again, like I usually step up with my right leg. I have to like turn sideways and put my left leg on the ledge and like jump into the bed. You know,
It,
living the dream, living the dream.
I mean, I just turned 42 not that long ago, like literally weeks ago, and now I'm just coming apart at the
I'm not even
seams.
40 and I'm coming apart. I got old fast. Yeah.
What else has been going on?
Well, it'll lead us into what I want to talk about today. We had baseball tryouts and a horse show because, I feel like baseball just ended, but we're back to baseball season.
Kind of feel
Uh,
like it just ended for you as well.
yeah, I think it's because All Stars went late this year. Um, yeah, so we had a horse show, we had a show last weekend. It was pretty good. Girls won all the saddles. That was neat. Um,
Nice.
yeah, so Tessa won the USTPA High Point, and Tessa Reddy won the USTPA High Point, and Haley Mangold won the RSNC High Point. So,
Very cool.
suck it, boys. Girls did better. But yeah, I know it's gonna rain for 10 days, so fun. What have you been up to?
Um, we
Aside
had
from
a show
hobbling
the
around.
weekend before you. That was good. Yeah, just working lessons. I don't feel like anything is I can't yeah, I don't pretty low key, I feel like.
Yeah, it's hard to be a force when you hobble around. You know.
Oh, we did well, I was supposed to have the top hand this last weekend here. And because of the rain that we had to cancel it. Our pens were flooded, which I hated to do it. I hated that I had girls on the way from Minnesota when I had to do it. It was just a real bummer, but for the safety of all involved and it just the logistics of everything would have sucked to try to do it.
No, it's yeah, we had our it rained here too, but we had the covered arena up in Ukaipa, so that was nice.
Makes it a little
It was
easier.
nice. But again, we're supposed to get like 10 inches of rain. They're calling for the Pineapple Express and atmospheric flooding for us. So we'll see how much rain we actually get.
It's interesting when it rains in our area, folks, but I guess we have to take the good with the bad because the last few days have just been absolutely gorgeous here
Yesterday was
this
like
year.
76 and sunny, and I was like, it's supposed to rain, like 100% chance
I
tomorrow. And
know.
it's like gorgeous and blue skies, but you know, that's
I
it.
know.
Right. So
Um,
I
Go ahead.
I was gonna say what I want to talk about is that I've had this discussion a lot. It came up with baseball tryouts. I had this discussion with my some of my clients after Colton's show, and then after our show is the mentality of: Are you here to win? Or are you just trying not to lose? Because they're not the same thing. And with baseball, we see it, especially with my one son, of being afraid of being great. Right? He's just trying not to strike out versus trying to, you know, get the hit and the run. And
Unleash his full potential.
it would have tied in awesome if you had your cowgirl challenge last week.
I know. I know. I can talk about that though too.
Because and I don't know if it's just a mentality of like how you're raised, but there's a big difference because people think it's the same thing, saying that you're trying not to lose versus trying to win, but they aren't the same. It's not the same mentality when you really look at it all the way through.
I think that there's different levels though too, Remy. I think that so I do a lot of lessons with women who want to learn. A lot of the women that I lesson with have been taught, coached by others. And the one woman in particular that I work with, she's been in some pretty big hands as far as horsemanship goes. Like AQHA professional horsemen who are versatility champions. She trained under several of them. She's trained under several large name clinicians. So at first I was a little intimidated because I thought, gosh, what am I going to teach her? Well, it turns out that she has no confidence. Um, it kind of almost belittled it out of her. Does that
Yeah.
sound about right? Um, because I think that we're on lesson 3, going on lesson 4 here. And it's been a very emotional process for her because I teach in a different way where I'm not yelling at her. I'm showing exactly what she should be doing to achieve desired results while encouraging her and then making a huge deal out of something when she does it right. But that's who I am. And I think it differs from some men to women in coaching techniques too. And yesterday she finally said, I mean, it was a very emotional moment because she's like, I've been coached by a lot of professional horsemen, and it's always been a very belittling experience for me. I've felt very overwhelmed. I felt very not good. Not she couldn't she's like I could never find a strong point when I left there. She's like I'm actually excited because at my age I feel like I am capable of doing this now where I never felt like I could before. So I think that there are certain ways to handle every individual because some are built to be pushed. Who was I working with the other day? And they just straight up told me, like, ride my ass. Basically, that's how I like to be taught. Don't sugarcoat anything with me. And I don't know, like, my, I would say Brandon has raised our boys like that. And I think that that's probably how you're raising your boys is they're going to know when they've done wrong, right?
Yeah, but
I
again,
was not raised that way.
but it's so yes and no, right? I can't do that with all of my boys. But what you're talking about with like going back to the confidence remark, that's the same thing. So when I'm talking about like wanting to win, it's not about wanting to win a show. It's about being successful. So
Yeah.
right, like, and again, we've talked about how success looks different for different people. But you see some people that go out there and they're not just cautious, they're timid in whatever they do. Right? It does not matter. This isn't. Um, solely based on horses or baseball, but they're cautious and they want so badly to not make a mistake that they're not confident enough to go be great as they are, right? They're not confident to enough to trust in what they're going to do. And if again, when it relates to horses, right, they're not confident enough in the pen because there's been external factors, bad trainers, or just internal factors. But there is
Yeah. And
a
then, I mean, it carries over. Like, look at even with your, like, a job, like, how many people are timid in their workplace, don't speak up, and maybe have a great idea, but don't want to open that door because then they're opening the door for rejection or failure. Are you giving me a thumbs up, Remy?
I'm not, but I think it's when your thumb comes up that it does it. I saw that. I don't know. See if we can get it to. Yeah,
It
see it's you
does.
put your thumb. um the no, because but it is right. Like, oh, and again, it's not just singular to women. You see it in men too, but you see it more prevalently, especially in women in the workplace, right? Like I have to know all the answers before I respond to that. Where guys are like, I know most of them. I'm gonna shoot for it. You see it in, especially in corporate jobs, like when there's a promotion, and a lot of women are going to make sure that they tick every box that's on that promotion. Like they want you to have this much experience and this and this and this. Like, yeah. I can't apply for it because I don't have that. And then you'll have a guy that's half qualified and he's like, yeah, but I'm fully confident. So what I don't know, I'll make up, like I'll get there. And there's women that are like that too, but you see it, like you do see it, especially. And again, and that's like, do you want to win or you just try not to lose? Because trying not to lose leads to a timidity and a lack of confidence that if you're trying to win, you know that the outcome's not always going to be great, but you have the confidence in yourself and what you're doing in order to try and push and get there.
That is funny, because a lot of men, and what you just said, a lot of men, they don't care about checking all of the boxes. Most of them, horsemanship means little to them, but they have so much confidence. Their ability, it does not look pretty most times, but they can go out there and make something happen, look terrible doing it, and you're like, how did they even stay on? But I've seen that time and time again. And a woman, I have them tell me all the time, give me a list of exactly and specifically how this is supposed to look and what I'm supposed to do. And I will work on that and work on that and work on that. And then when I feel like I have it perfected, I will throw myself out there and do it. And I told somebody last week, I said, it does not work like that, because they told me they said, I go, what are your goals? I'm past the point of wanting to compete. I don't want to compete anymore. I just want to be able to do this correctly. I want to be able to ride a horse correctly. And so I made her go out there and show me what she could do. And then I just laughed and I said, I think you're lying to yourself. And she said, what? And I said, you're lying to yourself. You do want to do this and you can do this. And then she looked at me and she started laughing and she's like, you're right. And she goes, but I want to know exactly how to do it before I do it. And I'm like, that is not how a person learns. Damn it. Um, Giving myself thumbs up. That's not how a person learns. You learn when you fail. And that is the scariest part, is throwing yourself out there and figuring it out along the way. But there is like,
Yeah,
yeah,
you have to commit to the suck, which is sucky,
yeah,
right? Like for lack of a better word, it sucks to suck.
yeah.
But you have to commit to it, right? You have to commit to the mistakes. You have to commit to maybe making a fool of yourself. But what happens is if you don't commit to something, right, you live a much smaller life. Again, in competition, in the workplace, in relationships. It's a much smaller world if you don't extend yourself past where you're comfortable. You also won't get better at anything. And in fact, you tend to get
No.
worse because, you cripple yourself by not, not pushing yourself. But, I talked about it with James about like that we've grown up differently, right? So I grew up with that I didn't need to win to continue to go, right? Like, so I was privileged enough to just go ride
Yeah.
your ride, right? Go ride your rides, do gymnastics, go do your routine, whatever you're going to do, go do it, and go and try and win. If you don't win, let's learn because I was still competitive, but it's like if you don't win, let's learn from it, and if it comes together, great. And it's not that I don't I'm not it's not that I'm not hyper competitive, it's just I didn't when I didn't win, I could have a different outcome. So, and that's transferred into my adult life, right? Like I go into a run, like let's hope for the best, right? I'm going to do my best. I'm going to make some moves that I hope work out. Maybe they won't work out, but I hope work out. And I'm not riding for second. And then you see some other, so like James is the alternative, which is also hyper competitive. But you see it in his riding, you see it in his riding style is that it's not that he doesn't make these big moves, but sometimes he gets in the situation where he is not trying to win. He's trying not to lose. And again, he's still one of the highest rated riders in the country. He wins a lot. But when you see things start to go wrong with him, he starts to ride tighter. I ride the same no matter what because again, I have full confidence in my ability of what we're going to do. So a perfect example was at Colton show when he won that saddle. The class before he's like, well, this happened and this happened. And I pretty much looked at him and was like, gotta stop being a pussy. Like, you got 3 more classes left this weekend. I know it hasn't gone well until now, but some of it's just bad luck. And then, he
You know,
comes
and that
back
is
and
a lot. That's hard to overcome, the bad luck factor. But it's true. And I'll let you finish because I want to say I have a couple things
no,
to
and
say,
so
but
then,
you'll
he
appreciate
goes into
this.
that next class, and it's not that he's not confident, but, like, there's this when you watch people, again, it's the wanting to win versus not wanting to lose. So he goes in that next class with nothing to lose and makes the finals 3 times, and, it was like a title fight between him and Joel in that 9 finals. He wins the saddle. Like, but again, that's who he can be as long as he doesn't let self doubt creep in. And it creeps into people that are trying not to lose much more than it creeps into people that are thinking about winning, because it's like a negative versus positive mindset. When you're thinking about winning, again, in life, relationships, this isn't just about the arena. When you think that you're out there to win, to be successful, you see a lot more of the positives, and you can shake bad things off as bad luck, bad timing, something didn't go right. But if you're trying not to lose, it's really easy to get trapped in negative things that have happened.
Um, so I think of when you talk about that, and you've done it, I've done it, Brandon has done it, James has done it, because it's good writing and it is what you do. So you're in the top 10 and you're like seventh out. They're paying 5 holes, whatever, and you can't beat first place team, but you can take 2 cows and get second. Do you know what I'm saying, Remy?
Yeah.
You know, that is not, there is a certain percentage of writers who love those scenarios because that is no pressure, right?
Mhm.
They're going to get a check and they're happy with that. And they don't really have to ride or go for it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So,
But
like,
it,
James, when you watch James ride, he's way better coming from 10th than being in first. And he's still good being in first, but, like, uh, when he's got when the top 10's either really tight where you just have to go make your run and see how it falls apart, like how it falls for everyone, or when you're coming with a big deficit, God, he rides hard. And it's not that he doesn't ride hard, and it's not that he still doesn't win from the top, but there's a different magic when he's coming from behind or a top 10 is tight as compared to when he's got really time to give away, which is no. See, I would rather not be leading it. I would rather be coming from the middle because also no pressure. But no, I don't like those
I,
situations either. I know what you're talking about where it's like, oh, you only need 2 cows to win. It actually happened this last weekend. The girls were leading the youth, and they go, only need 3 head to win. It's up to you what you do with that information. And they had a good run going, and they lost it like on the 9th cow at like 59 seconds. And I was like,
yeah,
that
that
was
sucks.
I was like, that's just bad. That's bad math. Like, it doesn't matter how good you think you are. You didn't need to,
You
you
didn't
know,
need that extra.
if you owed $20, you don't pay 100. Like, you just pay the 20. But you know what? That's a life lesson. They'll learn that. They'll learn to pay attention. It will. I mean, I appreciated the effort. It sucked that they lost, but I appreciated the effort for them. So
I so I feel like for me, I've had a really good last 2 months. My December and my November and December or whatever it was really good. And I thought that I was like clear sailing, sitting awesome in my mental head game because that's something that I've always struggled with. And I don't even know if I want to blame it on this, but I don't think that that's necessarily true. I had somebody make a comment to me that I was riding too aggressive. Riding too aggressive, being too aggressive with my children, um aggressive in the let's clarify that, aggressive while they were sorting. Um and I want to I want to blame my shift in mental focus on that, but I don't, because I should have taken that as a compliment
no, you shouldn't
because
have. No, you shouldn't have. And the person it came
No.
from plays mind games too. I know who we're talking about. That person plays mind games. This is the other thing. That person seen you ride for a couple years. You were very timid until this, and then you were very successful.
And
So
that's why I feel like maybe I should take that as a compliment, because
yeah,
even though it
but you
maybe
know,
didn't
it's
come as a compliment,
yeah,
that
you
is
like
what my
you're.
success has come from.
Well, it's like so. James is watching you. I think like in the first penning class that you wrote in at Colton's. He's like, "Holy shit, what happened to Breck?" In a very good way. He's like, "She's so aggressive now." I was like, "I know." So
And
see,
yeah, so then I let it get in my head for a couple weekends. And now this at our show, I got back to where, because Brandon said something to me and he's like, "What happened to that person?" And I'm like, I know what happened to her. And I found it again. I found it. And I was leading the 10 or whatever, the eights with Caitlin Ralston. And we were winning it. Uh,
she disappeared.
Oop,
Maybe back.
there you are. We were the only ones who would have had 30 head. We were in the final round, in our final run. Nobody could beat us. We were down to the last two cows in the blank. I was in the gate and I should have stepped up and told Caitlin what, I mean, it was like a 40 some second 10 head run, Remy. We had plenty of time. I should have said, split them. But uh, I did not tell her that. So, oh my
That's
God.
awesome. I just thought it would give me two thumbs up. I'm listening to you. I'm sorry.
What else can we do that is
Can we
gonna,
do this? Does this work?
yeah,
Does this work?
like AI?
Oh,
Boy,
you see the.
StreamYard is really amping up its stuff. But
So I'm
anyhow,
listening to you. I'm probably ignoring you.
no, it's okay. I should have told her to split them. Why take the chance or the risk? Why, right? Like, nobody could have beat us. So everybody else we were the only ones coming into that third go with
No,
20
you
heads.
have to
So,
say, take care, right? Take care of it. Just take care of it.
and I didn't. I let her bring me those, and they were so close, Remy. The good cow on the inside, the bad cow on the rail, but the way that they were coming across, and I was stepping to the bad cow, but the way that they were coming across, like how she was driving behind, the one was gonna beat that zero just by like fractions. I shut him down. I shut him down, stopped him. We were good. And then she went to her zero, looped around again, and I couldn't hold that one anymore. And we DQ'd. Um, but we DQ'd to win $3,500. That sucks. However, I felt I felt good. Like I felt like I just DQ'd, but I felt like the person I was back in December. Does that make sense?
No, it does. And like you've talked on here, right? Like your mental
My
mindset.
mental is a lot like a lot of women out there. I mean,
And
it's very,
it's tough for you. So again, right? Again, and it's not totally male female, but I'd say it's like 80% of the female population compared to probably 40% of the male population. We respond to outside, like external factors, right? Someone saying something because we're raised differently. We're raised to pay attention to what people say about us, how they feel about us. We are
we
in
have
tune with.
hormones, Remy. Who are you
Yeah.
kidding?
We're in, but your whole life though, you're in tune with how you look. What do people say about how you look? How are you acting? Are you acting appropriately? Where guys are not as bothered by that, and they're raised to not be as bothered by that.
Yeah.
But like the perfect example is I see it with my four boys, right? So Kyle, my oldest, is very talented. He's a fantastic third baseman. He can hit really well. He can pitch really well, but like he'll stand up there looking to get walked. He doesn't look to hit. He looks to get walked because he's afraid of striking out. And I told him, I was like, I don't care if you strike out swinging. I care if you strike out looking because you didn't.
So
So because he doesn't have the like, and this is the thing, you can pitch to him all day and he can step up there. He can hit off the machine, and he can hit. Like when he hits well, but he doesn't step up there. And he's afraid in general. It does not matter. It's not just baseball. He's like this with a lot of things. He's happy to kind of stay in the background, and he's happy to not like step into his greatness, right? Because that's why I tell people, like, step into how great you are, because we're all
How do
great.
you coach a child like that? Because I know Kyle, and I know that he is very soft-hearted, and he he probably wouldn't take an ash chewing very well. It would break him down more than build him up. Some kids are different like that. Like saying like some you can give an ash chewing to, and
No,
it'll
like
make them more tenacious,
So,
but
so
some can't.
Kyle's really tough because it's hard finding what motivates Kyle. Like it's very difficult, right? Because like we joke that Braden, my second one, would be happy to be an only child, right? He lives for fame and recognition and being the best, right? Like he wants to be the best dressed. He wants to be the best baseball player. He wants to
He's
be the best.
Bronson.
Yeah, like he just, this is me. You better like me. And if you don't like me, fuck you because I'm awesome. Right. Like
Yeah,
he's
that
got
is
it.
Bronson.
And like it's not super cocky because like I know him personally too. Like I mean, of course I know him personally as my kid, but like at his heart, he's not as confident as he portrays to be, but he kind of fakes it till he makes it. Well, Kyle isn't that kid, right? He is soft. He's very empathetic. He really cares about what other people think about him, whether it's justified or not. And
He's
he
very
never,
aware of his surroundings.
yeah, and he never wants to let anyone down. And so for me, and it's hard because like I'm a good cheerleader, but I also don't want to sugarcoat things. So we
No.
but it's like for him I have to really work on talking to him about confidence, right? Like you're a good looking kid, you're super talented, you need to be, you like, you again, own your greatness, step into your greatness, step up there, and if you fail, it's okay that you fail, right? Like
I also
his fear of failure cripples him because he does not want, and again, it's letting other people down. Like he's the last on the list he's worried about letting down. He's worried about letting everyone else down. And so
yeah.
I need him to be a little more selfish, right? Like you usually don't want your kids to be selfish. I need him to be more selfish. I need him to want things for himself so that he can be confident in what he's asking for.
I also see Kyle as a kid who he would be much more excited for somebody else hitting a home run than himself hitting a home run.
Yeah.
Cause yeah, he doesn't find the belief that he could do it or he's good enough to do it.
No,
So
and it's like,
that is hard to coach. Like I don't even know how, I mean, I guess just like making the biggest deal out of it that you can when he does, actually making the others around him make the biggest deal out of it, because maybe that would mean the most to him. Because it's not a game, it's just, it is a little bit of a game, finding what motivates somebody to be the best version of themselves that they can be.
and it's you know it's a very difficult thing with him because and I've had clients that are that way too, right? Like what motivates you? Why do you want to do this? Like,
Hmm.
and they'd rather be the help me. Now, like I'm more than happy to help other people win. I take joy in other people's success. Um, but again, like at my core, I'm a very confident person, right? I lead with confidence. I speak with confidence. Like that's who I am as a person. Kyle's not. And you need to, and then you got T, who's like, easygoing, very funny, but like he's pretty confident. And then you got my littlest one, Clayton, where like that
He
kid's
lives in his own world and does
but
his
he's like
own thing.
supremely confident, right? It's like you're gonna follow me, and if you don't, great, good on you. Like he could, and so you need Kyle to steal some of that confidence from other people. But then what you see, and this is what hurts me as a mother, like last year at Colton Show, not this past year, but the year before, he really wanted to win, right? He wanted to win whatever they were giving away, like the scooter or whatever. And he rode really well, and he lost it. I think it might have been with Bodie. He lost it in the sorting, and he was really upset. And I was like, but you didn't act like you cared, and it's okay to care. Like, it's okay to be disappointed, right? But if you insulate yourself by saying you don't care, acting like you don't care, um, the only person you're really hurting is yourself, right? Because if you act like you care, more people will help you. You will then expend more energy trying to get good at whatever it is, right? Being more confident, getting the promotion, hitting the ball, winning the sorting. All these things come from you being confident, not just from luck and not just from skill, because luck and skill don't matter if you're not confident, because you will not execute continuously what you need to do. And
That
usually,
confidence just rolls over into so many things in
mhm.
life. I mean, um, yeah, your professional career, like having that confidence to step into the light and actually speak your voice and let them know that you have an opinion and a brain and ideas that can go somewhere and do something with. It's
What is so you see it like in I saw it a lot in college, you see it in the workplace, right? If I have a really good idea and I'm like, I think we should wear coats today. No one's going to take me seriously. But if I walk in, I'm like, you know what we should do? We should all wear coats today. And everyone's like, yes, you're right. We should wear coats today. Right. But
yeah,
like, if you're mealy mouthed and you mumble and how you present yourself, because, people are like, ideas matter. They do matter. 100% ideas matter. But you know why there's whole sales teams and marketing teams for companies? Because like the presentation matters almost as much as the idea. And so if you're not confident, if you don't walk with confidence, if you don't talk with confidence, if you don't speak with confidence, people don't believe you, no matter how good you are. And if you believe in yourself, trust me, more people will believe in you. For
yeah,
better or worse. Like, some people get a lot of people to believe in them, and you're like, how did you not see through that one? But they were confident, they were charming.
true. Agreed. My kids have the ability to do that. I will get calls from members of our family being like, you name it. Well, they had one of them convinced that they were flying home to Minnesota on Christmas Day. They called me and said, can't believe that you're putting them on a plane by themselves. I'm like, what are you talking about? Oh, just talk to them.
On
They're
Christmas, no less.
Yeah, they're going back to Minnesota on Christmas Day. And I'm like, God, I'm like, no, they're not. It's never even been discussed. No,
Yeah,
no better.
but and that's what I was saying. It's not just indicative of women, but women tend to be plagued by a lack of self confidence much more than men.
For sure.
And maybe this new generation of girls will be. It's gotten better every generation, but yeah, but again, it's that whole mindset, right? Am I standing up here to walk, or am I standing up here to hit? Am I entering the pen to win, or am I entering it just trying not to lose?
For me, look what I got back. My kitty. Say hi, Elle. She looks like a vampire right now. She has like two teeth in her whole head. Oh, are you special? Oh, look at how pretty she is.
Look, I
My
got a new
special
puppy.
Ed.
I got a new puppy.
You
She's
got a
out
new
in the snow.
puppy?
I did. She's super cute.
A
She's
cur
out in the
dog?
snow. Yes, she's a Catahoula Kelpie and Border Collie cross.
Oh,
But
nice.
she's tiger striped, so we named her Tig. So that's where we got. That's where we got.
Oh,
I have one
love
dog that's
that.
fair. You know what? I wish everyone had as much confidence as my dog, Lapras, the feral one, because she is every part of a bad bitch. Like, she walks with confidence. She looks like she'd whip your ass. Also, she does not listen for shit about anything. But I'm not a good dog trainer, so there's that.
Oh, that's funny.
I had a couple of really good dogs that made me think like I could do this, but all of that turned out to not be true with her. So the new one listens better than she does. That's great. The puppy's
The
fantastic.
puppy.
Yeah.
Well, Remy, I think that we had a really good conversation today. I think it's applicable in all parts and phases of your life, and it's something that some of us need to work on more than others. Especially hard with kids, finding that. I think in today's society too, the kid thing with a child like Kyle, because kids at school can be so flippin' mean, it's just so important to breathe that into them and give it to them, because you don't know what's happening amongst their peers, and it's a little bit scary in that. Uh, Surround yourself with good people though, and find that
Yeah.
confidence for yourself, because it is necessary and needed, not only in the arena but in the workplace and life, general life as well.
Yeah. And don't let people tell you you're being too aggressive.
Yeah, don't get in your head, I guess, like don't believe that shit. And I of all people should know that, but I think, like I said, I don't know, I want to blame it on that. Is that what was
No, but
just
again, like I know we're getting off here, but again, like when you already have a like, so if someone said that to me, right, personality wise, I'd be like, great, thank you, come again, right? Because it's not gonna affect me. You have a different mindset that you've worked really hard to um,
yes,
make
protect
more
and get
competitive.
better.
And when
Yeah,
someone's better than you and says things like that to you, it does affect you, right? Like it affects you. So you have to be, again, we talk about it all the time, be careful what you're feeding your mind. And
yeah,
it's like if you're feeling really good in an outfit and then like you hear someone that like, oh God, her ass looks fat and that. And you're like, oh
you're
my
like,
God. Right. But
really?
all it takes is it at first, like, and like, depending on the day too, all it takes is one comment to fuck up your life
Yeah,
for a minute.
yeah. That's funny about the clothes. Oh, I think I look really cute today. Walk out. What the
Right?
hell
And
are
then
you
someone says something,
wearing?
you're like, okay, well,
Yeah. Mm. All right. Well, I better get out there and start feeding my ponies. But it was great chatting with you this morning, Remy. I missed talking with you. I hope
yeah.
that your disc, as well as mine, gets better soon. Mine is getting better, I feel like.
I'm getting better.
But
I'm really hoping that I just like really messed up my muscles and I don't have to get an injection or surgery. That's where I'm at in my life.
so I got this really cool ice pack that wraps around my waist, and I wear that puppy all the time. Like, I've been sleeping with it on, and it makes a world of difference. And when I'm done working for the day, I like to come in and get underneath of a heated blanket with that ice pack on. It feels so stinking good. Um,
So
I
you
don't
could get
know.
an ice pack that wrapped around your waist, but you can't remember a ring light.
No, I can't. I'm gonna order it off of Amazon right now. What I've been really addicted to lately, and Amazon finds TikToks for me. I've most recently bought the weirdest kitchen gadgets that you could imagine because I've seen them on TikToks. But
Yeah, I
I
I have a
adore.
lot of I have a lot of I have a lot of kitchen gadgets anyway. I did buy a bunch of bows off of Amazon. Uh and I was
That's
wearing them at the show
insane.
this weekend, like the big hair bows that are like the chiffon and very big.
No,
Yeah,
you
I
did
love them.
not.
I do. And so I was wearing them, and this my friend Kelly's like, "You look like a Disney princess," and I was like, "Yes, I like to be like dusky Disney, not like dark Disney, right? Like, but with the purple hair and like the bow." And I also bought heeled Oxford shoes, so been dressing like a, you know,
A
late
naughty
Victorian schoolgirl lately.
schoolgirl. A
Yeah,
naughty
like a
schoolgirl,
late, no,
Remy.
like late Victorian, like the Oxford sweater with like the button down coming over it, and
So what I want to know is, where in the hell are you wearing this to? Because you don't do anything besides horse shows, work in a bar,
I
and
wear
go to
both.
sports.
I've always worn stuff in my like. In fairness, I've always worn stuff in my hair. So, um, and then I wore the heels to go out to dinner. I actually like they're not very high. They're like a 2-inch heel, so they're like the Oxford, so it's got like the dot, like the punched dots across the front and the laces up. And I bought them because we were going to dinner, and I looked at James and I was like, I have dirty, sparkly Converse. My cowboy boots are not appropriate to not be worn with jeans, and purple fleece lined Crocs. Literally
Oh,
three
those would
pairs
be
of
cute.
shoes. And but they were dirty, like really dirty, because I walk around in them all the time.
In the mud.
I was like, I have no shoes to go out in, like literally. So I bought a pair of cute shoes. They're super cute. That's how I dressed in high school, though. Was like the modified prep look. So that's
Well, I'm still working on getting my eyebrows waxed and my hair dyed. It's getting bad.
yeah. I retouched up my hair, so it's like real purple today. And
Mine's
Braden's like, oh
like
my god.
real
He's
gray.
like, he's like, did you put silver in your hair? And I'm like, yep, I did.
Did you? I'm like,
No, it's natural. I'm just like, that's all my gray coming through
oh.
the purple.
Well,
Because
have you
like,
seen those purple grays? Like, have
mhm,
you seen that? I'm
yeah.
half-ass considering it, Remy, because I'm tired of dyeing this shit.
So my
Tired
mom
of
has
it.
like my mom has like the prettiest gray hair, right? It's like gray and silver, like the dark gray and silver, and got like some red and blonde in it. And if my hair came in that color, I'd be ecstatic. That'd be fantastic. But it's right now it just looks like weird tinsel in my hair. More and more of it. Like
You
I'm
could go
growing
get
out
that,
really
those
well.
tinsel. I used to have those tinsel deals,
Yeah,
Maybe it would take away from the gray color and people just think you had a little tinsel tied in your hair.
I
Feel
think you
like
do.
you've, no, I've got way too much. Like mine is growing and framing my face right now.
Yeah, so let it come.
No, that
Right.
looks ridiculous. Like somebody with dark as hair as I do, then let it come. Oh my God, Remy. You wouldn't even let me do it. You'd see me and you'd be like, get your ass to the salon and get that shit
So I
dyed.
did.
You
So I
can't go
did
out
see
looking
this.
like that.
I saw a friend this last weekend. It was her daughter's 16th birthday, so they came to the show for her birthday. And she went same thing. She went gray a while ago. She's got like a naturally very dark base, and so it looks like highlighted gray. It's not. It's for natural. And I was like, man, if I look like that, I would also go gray that way. Some people have really pretty gray hair. I don't think
I
I'm gonna have.
know, I agree. I don't. Mine is like it's even coarser, I guess. It's not
Yeah, so I'm
even
lucky. Like mine's a slightly different texture, but it's not like super different. And mine's very shiny, so that's why it looks
yeah.
like my hair's silver.
My hair is
Um,
extremely dirty right now. I tried to curl it this morning and I've been wearing a braid a lot lately, so it's kind of got a little wave to it. But it
yeah,
was even disgusting trying to curl it.
I had to use like this straightener so it didn't look all frizzy on the bottom. It still doesn't look great, but hey, that's where we're at in life.
All right, well, I better get off here. I've got to go to my day job.
Yeah, because this isn't paying us enough.
Yeah.
What? Oh,
Let's see.
yeah, it did. Hold it.
Why
You
is it?
gotta hold
Oh,
it.
there
Yeah.
it goes. Look at
What I really wonder is like
us.
if this transfers to when we do the video, because if not, we're gonna look very silly. So for those of you listening on the podcast, if we hold up two thumbs, it puts fireworks behind us.
It's
So,
amazing. So, all right. We will see you next time, Remy. Have a great week. Let's pray that we don't get the amount of rain that they're forecasting.
oh, I'm praying that we do because I want to sit in my room, drink hot chocolate, and
And
eat
watch
soup.
Netflix.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
All right. Well, here's to rainy days for you, sunny days for me. I don't want the rain. Had enough of it. We'll see you next time, Rem. Until
bye.
next time, be bold,
Be brave.
be humble.
You.
Look at me go. All right. Bye,
Bye.
ladies. Thanks for watching.